So, just going to give you guys a quick look at how I grow my sweet potatoes in the UK. I've got a bucket grown already. I wasn't actually going to grow any more, but after I've done everything that I need to do, I've got a bit of compost left over, and I've got loads of containers. This is the one I'm going to use. One of these. I've already got my bucket, as I just said, of sweet potatoes growing, but I'll show you what I did, and it's very simple. It's very simple. There's a bit of prep that's involved. I'll show you my little slips that I've grown, and then I'll just show you how we grow them on. So this you'll have seen from a previous video is my little sweet potato that I'm growing my slips in. And what I did very simply was stick a couple of stakes in my sweet potato. That would hold it above the glass. Wasn't necessary in the end anyway, because of the roots have grown up a bit above that. And filled it with water, and then this root system underneath here started to appear slowly, and then the slips grow out of the little eyelets in the top. These are some quite healthy slips actually, but I'm not going to need those because a couple of weeks ago I pinched some slips off. Just so you can see, I'm not going to use these, but I'll put them in water anyway just in case. But you simply pinch these off and sit them in a cup of water so that root at the bottom can grow. Pinch them off like so. And really you should, I did this a bit late this year, really you should put your sweet potato aside from maybe February, so that you can plant out, if you've got a greenhouse, early May. Now let me just put that down. These are the slips that I've placed in water. So you'll see they've started to grow a little root system, which means they are now ready to plant out and survive. You can just take them straight off the sweet potato and plant, but they don't stay healthy necessarily straight away, and they may not survive at all. So they are pretty tough plants though. So with that said, I'm going to grab the compost that I've got left over and fill my little bucket that I've got there, and then I'll just plonk those into the top, and that is hopefully we'll see early September, because I'm going to keep these in my greenhouse as well, so they've got a better temperature, and I'm hoping they'll grow better in my greenhouse. I've grown them outside previously, and I keep it quite warm in my greenhouse because I've got melon and I've got kiwano in there, which are like tropical type fruits. I actually keep it quite warm, and just kind of open the door for pollination purposes, so that might be a better temperature for sweet potatoes to grow. So let's have a look. I'll give you a quick look at my greenhouse now. It's only a little one. I leave this door open on some days with my pollinator attractors, which aren't looking too healthy actually, but one thing I was about to say, I always do, I've got a couple of tomatoes in here as well, is underestimate. And I knew I had, to be fair. If you'd have seen my earlier video on planting these little raised beds in my greenhouse, I knew that I'd underestimated how much space they'll take up. But it was a case for me of utilising this in these months and just chucking stuff in and seeing what happens. This is my other bucket of sweet potatoes. This one at the back is, as I say, wasn't as healthy as the others because it didn't have as good a root system as these two. So these two are slips that I put in with a decent root system, and this is one that I just chucked in there because I had it spare and I didn't want to chuck it away. So this is my spare compost. So I'm just going to chuck this into that tub you see there and plonk my sweet potatoes in. It is as simple as that, and keep them watered and very hopefully the warmth is going to do them good, and hopefully my melons, cucumbers and kiwano are being pollinated by the fact that I've opened this door. Anyway, let's get cracking. Sorry guys, I had to put you down for a minute there. Simple as that. I'll give him a fork over. I might add a little bit more actually. I didn't want to spend any more though, but I might add a little bit more, but I might not. There's a fair whack in there. I left my little fork at the allotment plot, sorry. So I'm just giving him a shovel over, just to loosen him up really, because just like anything like this, carrots, sweet potato, you want to give the tubers as much space as, or make it as easy for them as you possibly can to grow. It looks like he's alright. Oh, I remember this now. These two, this was stuck together when I planted it. So it's, I'm not going to plant this very deep. I normally plant them deep enough, but I'm going to plant not very deep at all, because I am going to add a little bit more compost to this mix. So here we are. I'm going to separate these. And again, not very deep at all. And one more, so I'm gonna again just a little, and I'll give these, that's quite moist actually, so I'll leave these for the day, and then I'll give them a good water this evening. And then last thing, to replace my little slips with these chaps that I just plucked off, and fill that up with water. you can see, it's a really lovely day, and the good thing about this watering now, which is why I've chosen to do it now, is the heat from the sun actually warms up the water, so I'm not hitting my plants in here with cold water. It's still warm. Look. Fantastic. And then I'll wait for my water to warm up for another hour or so, and then I'll come back and water these babies.